if it isn't my long lost cousin, or you seem like it, you're just as crazy as me. I mean, Jesus, you're insane. How many times have you been to the loony bin and back, man? I can't predict you. I thought I was unpredictable, but I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what you're bringing to the table sometimes. You're scary, you're terrifying. But I refuse to let you hurt me like you've hurt so many in the past. I refuse to let you bring me down, Owen. I'm going to put you back where you belong. I'm going to strap you back
Oh,
in,
no,
baby boy.
no, no, Joshua, you said it wrong. You ain't putting me back. There's one thing you do, and it's getting back to the bar and taking your shirt off, because that's what I need to see, baby boy. We gonna hit that ring, then we gonna hit that bar. You feel me? You feel me, Joshua City? Because 1, 2, 3, it's gonna be a wrap, and then we hit the showers.
I like hitting the showers before, but I'm not gonna do that. No, 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 no. I want to make sure I put you down. I love you. I love you, and I love to see you go away, because if you're around, nobody's gonna pay attention to me, and I need that attention, Owen. I need it. I want it. I deserve it. You don't deserve it anymore. You're just crazy.
Well, Mr. City, I'm glad you said that. Someone understands my thinking. But as far as this goes, there can only be one crazy man in this competition, and I believe tonight it's going to be me, Mr. Driftwood. So, Joshua, one more chance. You want to have a drink or you want to have a fight?
Let's have a drink and let's have a fight. Let's get hammered and let's get slammed, baby.
All right, boy. Well, I'll see you in that ring. And we gonna really put it together because this ain't just one dance. This ain't just two. This gonna be 3 to the floor and 4 in the back, boy. Ew.
Your math doesn't make sense, damn it.
It
Time,
will when you.
time, time. Time. Jeez.
I love Owen. I can't keep up.
I,
It's on the spot.
what'd
I
you
don't
say,
know,
Josh?
man.
I can't keep up? What'd you say?
I said I love Owen. I can't keep up with that crazy ass. That's good stuff.
Owen, I think you're right, Josh. Owen brought it today with his head, and I don't know if you were doing that as much yesterday with the hands and the head, and I thought that really added to this. This is this crazy character. Like I don't know if Owen is sniffing gasoline, paint, if he's doing glass. I have no clue, but you are throwing it out there, and I thought that was really good. Um, I thought you were a lot better on this one, Owen. I think that really helped you out. Josh, right? It's real hard, right? I saw you. You changed your shirt. You don't have your lighting. You're like, let me just go in and do it. It's sometimes, and then now, right? Primo is telling you, hey, man, you're going first. So now we're going dry, like just straight out. I just came to class, didn't know if I was gonna hit it. You definitely have that ability to to really just have that turn it on switch, and that's really important in professional wrestling because that's what you're gonna do. We come in, man, right, we're indie wrestlers. I mean, it doesn't even matter, we're network wrestlers. It doesn't matter, we all have lives, we all got shit, baggage of shit, but sometimes we have to say, hey man, all right, I'm here at work and gotta turn it on, and to have that ability is really key in professional wrestling, and I think that's a gem that you have there, because that's just that ability to even go out there and speak, go out there and wrestle, and go out there and do it. I thought it was really good on both your ends. The only thing that, Mary, the biggest takeaway I'm going to say for you, Josh, is you were looking to your left.
Yeah,
What's on the
I caught.
left? Is that
It's
Owen?
me. I caught myself looking at myself, and I was like, "Damn it! I need to be looking at the
Okay.
camera."
Yeah, that was the only thing I kept seeing you do this. So I didn't know. I actually thought, oh, well, maybe he's actually looking towards Owen and he's actually looking at him and then going back to the camera. I get it, right? It's a little tough in
I
this gym
totally forgot
classes.
it. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right, yes. Yeah, keep it on gauge there. Primo Henio, what did you think?
I thought they did good. I liked Owen. Maybe you were more into character because you didn't know exactly what you were gonna say, so you let your character take over, and your character was talking for you. And Joshua, you did good. Pointing out, like, I know Owen is crazy, and you were saying that for him, and then he was like feeding off of that, like, yeah, I am, and and that's not right. So like you were kind of doing like yes and so like you guys both did good job on that. And he also Owen also played the that he wanted to see you with like your shirt off. So it's like, okay, it's one of those guys. And then the way you were talking, I was able to know both of your characters, and you guys didn't stutter. You guys did good, felt comfortable in your gimmick, especially on the spot, which is hard. So good job, guys.
Good job. All right, we're gonna take it we're gonna take it to the people here. Virtual hands voting once. Let's see here. Who votes for Joshua City?
That's Owen all the way.
Okay, two. I got three for Joshua City. Going once, going twice. Three for Joshua City. Hands, virtual hands down. All right, and then how about Owen? Hands for Owen. Owen. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Owen hits it with the niner. Really good job, Owen. Um, that's really good. I think, man. Let me ask you, Owen. Yesterday, did you do a lot of that head movement? Did you do more? Or did I just miss that yesterday?
I watched it back this morning, and not really, because like how I had, Justin and I had kind of just said, I can, say whatever the fuck you want about me, everything's off board. So I had put more together. Where this, it was like, oh shit, here we go. So I was more relying on the crazy shit than having something I came up with as far as verbally.
So important, right? When you know your character and you're in your character, it's like I'm talking to you right now, Owen, or whoever I'm talking to, whether it's Joshua or Omar, talking to you right now. You don't have to think about what you're going to say. You're you. You know what I mean? And I think when you know your character, like the back of your hand, and I think it was great that Aunt Heidi, Kristen actually posted the character um, questionnaire, and I think that would really help you out, even when it's all these things that will never come up in professional wrestling. It's going to help you out to know your character. You don't have to think, and I always find that I try to think about what cool stuff can I do in my match, and then I say to myself, whenever I have the most fun is when I just react. And if you're ever watching like Steamboat versus Ric Flair, right? It's probably a NWA championship match at that in the main event. And they're ad libbing a lot out there. You know what I mean? And that ad libbing, putting the ad lib enough together will create this magic, create this great match. And I think that when you study your character, when you study your personality, and you know your character, that it really you don't have to think anymore. You just react. Someone slaps you in the face. What would your character do? Are you like Bruce Lee, where you stop and you look and you kind of wipe your face and look at the guy? Are you like holding somebody? Everyone's got to hold you back, kind of a guy. Are you gonna get knocked out? I don't know. Maybe you're the weasel manager and someone slaps you and you just pass out and faint. What would your character do? Not necessarily what a pro wrestler would do or a wrestling personality, and that'll really help you out. And I think that's probably what helped you out, right? Going back, Owen, and reviewing it, so important. As we do it in the moment, you think it's either terrible or or a lot of times when we're cocky and when we're young, we think it's great. And then sometimes when you go back and watch it, it's never as terrible as you thought. And sometimes it's never as great as you thought. And I always like to say that to some people. Hey, I got your match. And I go, I'm good. I don't need to see it, man. I remember it being great. I don't want to watch it. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's what it is. But it's so important to go back and watch your stuff because it can help you out the way it did Owen here. All right. Thank you, Owen. All right. Let's see here. All right, so we want to figure out who Jack is gonna fight in the, or excuse me, not fight. He's going to go battle up against in the semifinals. So we're going to go ahead and go and Owen, we're going right into it. So it's going to go Owen versus Aunt Heidi right now. Phil, that gives us our replacement. Um, and we'll go ahead and get it done. So Hyde, who is starting? Or excuse me, Primo Henio, who's starting?
This time, Auntie Heidi.
Auntie Heidi. Okay, as well take us ourselves off of mute. All right, and here we go. And 3, 2.
Well, hello there, Mr. Driftwood. Pleasure to meet you. I am your dear old Auntie Heidi, and a little birdie told me that you've had some time in hospital. Oh, I do despise those bloody doctors, but I'm glad to see you're finally of sound mind and of well awareness. So why don't you say we have a little brawl in my little special place? We can just let off a little bit of steam, have a little time with some good old-fashioned insanity. What do you say, mate? Just
Well, I don't remember you from the family reunion, Auntie, but what you say sounds like maybe something I'd be interested in. I've seen a few of your matches. A casket match, I believe, would be to my liking. As far as my brain being fixed, maybe don't go that far. I wouldn't believe it. But I will take you up on this match. And do you have another one of those hats by chance?
Oh, I think I have plenty, because no one is touching this one. This one's quite important. But if you want, we can do this in my special place, a place where ideas breathe and nightmares bleed. And
Well,
all
old Mr. Driftwood doesn't do too well in special places, let me tell you that, Auntie. But where I do good is in that squared circle. So, if we want to do this 2 out of 3 falls, 5 out of 7, 12 out of 13, I don't give a damn. But let's do this dance.
okay, we'll do this your way. 2 out of 3 falls in the bloody squared circle. We'll do it in old fashion. First one to fall down can't get up loses. We'll have some good old drinks. I'll share with you my lovely cookies. Yes. Did you know that bone meal actually makes for very good flour if you actually grind the bones thin enough?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I have some on the stove right now, Auntie. So we'll make some soup for some humans. We'll drink it out of their skulls. We'll have a good old time, and then we'll get our butt kicking going down. Is that what you speaking on?
Oh, you're speaking my language, mate. Oh, I know I'm gonna love you.
Well, that's just it then. We're gonna have to do this. I'll see you at 5.
Yes.
Time. All right, let's see here. Aunt Heidi. Um, so I'm looking. I'm watching your promo for everything. Right, we talked yesterday about how you're really dialed in on your promo. The laugh, right? You know, doing your hands like this. I want to say the facial expressions lacked a little bit this time. I not that they weren't there, because at times that I was like, man, they're really lacking. Then you would bring it up, and it's when you really felt it. I think when you started laughing, that was one. When you got excited once, and you held the cane like this, that's when the facial expressions really came out. And I think so. You have your accent, and it's on point, and you never lose your accent. So same thing with that facial expressions. Just really be in that character, and this is me really now nitpicking. There's a lot of people that see this and say that was great, of course, and it was really good. Um, but now that I'm really dialing in, I want to really see that facial expressions, as that's what I'm looking. I'm actually watching it, right? I'm not. I am being entertained by it, but I'm watching it as a coach, right? Watching it to see what needs work. And a lot of people say, "Man, Coach Chaos, did I do anything right?" Because I'll say, "Hey, man, you need to fix your footwork. You need to hit the ropes harder, this, that, and the other." And they're just like, "Man, he hates me." I don't hate you, right? Whenever I drill and drill on you and say, "Hey, get those facial expressions better," I'm focusing on what needs to be better, not to say nothing that you did was no good. So never take that. And I always have to reiterate that because I don't want any student to think that the way one person actually came to me, this famous B, and he said, "Is there anything I did right?" Yeah, of course you did. You're great. You're one of my best ones I got. You're probably the best I got out there. But I'm going further in the coaching. So that's what I do when I'm really saying those facial expressions. I've seen you kind of go, damn. Right. So I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, hey, dial that in a little bit more. Keep that. We would never want the accent to fall. Don't let those facial expressions or those eyes fall off. Um, Owen, another great performance. It's a little bit easier, right? You get one out of the way, you go into that second one. You're usually on that second one. That's when you're starting to feel it. That's when you're starting to feel that magic flow because you're just like, I got to do it. There is no nerves anymore. I had no clue I was going to do this when I came into class, but now we're in it. So I thought you did another fantastic job. I think I wanted maybe more of the levels for Owen, more of the levels to come up. You kind of went here. I think when you were with Joshua, you were really out there. Here, you were a little bit more mellow. So I don't know if that first battle took a lot of your energy away. But I think I thought you might have lacked a little bit in that. Primo Henio, what did you think of these two?
I liked it. I liked it especially because like they're both kind of not right in the head, and they both were pretty much kind of getting along, even talking about like recipes they were gonna make, So I get to see what kind of crazy Auntie is. I get to see what kind of crazy Owen is, and both of their like gimmicks are on point. Her Auntie with like the makeup, the jacket, the cane, the accent. You're like TV ready, I feel. And for Owen, yeah, you just feel it looks like you're more comfortable and you're just able to like really listen to what Auntie Heidi was saying, and you were able to say, yeah, like I didn't see you in my family reunion, and it was just kind of clever the way you were making your promos. So I liked it, so
Yeah, I totally like it's totally two different characters. Bruno, who's Bruno? Not San Martino. Harvey Whippleman. Yeah, Harvey Whipple, his name is Bruno. But yeah, it reminds me, Owen reminds me of Harvey Whippleman, even though they're like two completely different characters. I think the mannerisms, the way you would say, like, hey, get that little motherfucker, like, get that guy. And I think that's what's great about wrestling, right? It's not about, right, you got to have your heroes and you have to have your villains. But I also see Owen as very likable. I see him as very likable. So I think, but that's becoming creative in professional wrestling. So, all right, let's take it to the people here. Let's start with Owen. Let's get your virtual hands for Owen, please. Six, seven. I got seven for Owen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is it eight now? Four, 5, 6. Now we got seven. Seven going once, going twice. All right, seven for Owen. All right, virtual hands down, please. Okay, and let's go. How about Aunt Heidi? How many Aunt Heidis here? 6,
6.
7, 8.
Oh wait,
8. Edge is out. What happened? Wait. It went back down to 7. Someone dropped. So was it? I saw 8. I did see 8 once. Let's go back up. Virtual hands for Aunt Heidi, please. Aunt Heidi. Aunt Heidi. So I saw actually more go up.
7. 1.
I see 6 now. So Aunt Heidi with 6 going once. And Heidi with 6 going twice. All right, it's going to be 6. I did see 8 go up, so I don't know if it was a mistake. Probably was a mistake when someone raised their hand. Owen, you're like the guy in the first UFC, man. You're like the guy in the first UFC. Everyone's fighting their heart out, and here comes the alternate going to the finals. Well, not the finals, at least the semifinals. All right. Congratulations, Owen, on moving up 7-6. Really tight on that one. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and it's gonna be Jack versus Owen is what it turns out to be, and then we have Xander versus Grit. We have Xander in the house. I see him. And how about Grit? Got you both in the house. Xander and Grit. Okay, Primo Henio. Who's starting on these two? I got.
Jack Farmer.
Where's Xander? There's Xander. Okay. Who'd you say?
Jack Farmer.
No. Grit versus Xander. We're
Oh.
we're jumping the other side right now.
Grit.
Grit. All right, Grit is gonna start it off, and I'll count you down. Grit. Here we go. Grit in 3, 2.
Xander Craven. Look, here's the thing, man. I'm really excited for this. You know, I've got the hair standing up on my arm right now. I've never been hunted before. You know, it kind of makes me feel all tingly inside. And it's going to be really exciting because what you are doing is you're pushing me to my limit. You, as the hunter, are cornering a dangerous animal. And now I'm going to test my limits and see how dangerous I am. It's a shame that you have to be the victim. You know, I actually like you. I like your spunk and charisma, you know. You got real drive and passion. But you're just going to be a victim. A hunter killed in the woods by a rabid animal. It's a shame. It truly is, you know. Because I've scratched and I've clawed, you know, and I've worked not just to stand before you today, my fiercest challenge, but as Grit Gibson, the toughest, most dangerous, the biggest game that is out there in these woods.
You know, I think you're right about being the biggest in the game. You've let everything everyone in here has said about how good you are at speaking go to that thick skull of yours. It's inflating your own ego. It's getting a bit too massive. And you know what? I think somebody needs to reach up to that pedestal and bring you back down to earth. I guarantee you, everybody in this room has placed their bets on you taking me out, no hands down. Easiest fight of your life. And you know what? When it comes to a war of words, there are none better than Grit Gibson. But when it comes to being the man who has to punch up, who has to come from nothing, who has to fight out of his corner and win, there is nobody better than Xander Craven.
Xander, you say such nice things about me. I really do appreciate it. See, I knew I liked you. I knew you were a good guy. That is why it brings me such pain, Xander. It brings me pain to know that you cannot live up to what you are promising right now. Because you may be great. You've gotten this far, and I applaud you for that. But just like everything else in your life, you are going to drop the ball, my friend. You are going to miss the target. Your reflectors are just a little too bright, my friend, and you got caught in your own trap. It happens to the best of us.
Caught my own trap, huh? You know what?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I knew it the second I saw Grit Gibson. I knew no matter what happened in this tournament, it was going to be you versus me at some point. Whether that's luck, whether that's destiny, or the sheer skill of two men willing to put it all on the line. I knew this was going to happen. And you know what? I think you did too. I saw you raising your hands for that son of a preacher man I put down yesterday. Oh yeah. I think you're scared of me. I think you're posturing right now. I think you wanted to try and vote me out so that you wouldn't have to be the Goliath that gets taken down by the real David.
Nah, man, I'm just a man of God, you know? I pray for my victims. That is why I am here in this position right now. I am not posing to look tough. I am posing because I am repenting for my sins, not for ones that I have committed, for ones that I am going to do to you, my friend. So, Xander Craven, when we meet in the ring, face to face, eye to eye, you and I want you to know that the watch on my wrist What time does that say? Oh, it says it's time to get gritty.
Bravo, bravo. I think you've really brought it. I think you're really giving me the fight I want. I can feel it in my heart. It is pumping louder and louder. My blood is on fire and the adrenaline is surging through every single fiber of my being. This is the fight. This is the challenge I have wanted. I don't care about that boozer loser or the man who wants to get on his knees and pray for victory. No, this is it. The man who wants to pull the dirt up underneath our
Look, everything
battleground.
I hear from you right now, this is all I think about it. Hot air coming out of your mouth. That's it. I'm excited for it. I said that at the beginning. It was the truth.
Time. You guys in 5 minutes. I think that was the longest one. I think you guys feel really comfortable going that time. Grit. I at first I didn't know if I liked your voice, and then as I was watching it, and this is like right. This is because you've done the Grit already, so I'm trying to think, man, is it? And I think it's growing on me. And I think the reason why it's growing on me is because the entertainment value is there, right? This is pro wrestling. I know we talk about being real, this, that, and the other. And I think your opposite is Xander. He's very real. I think what I really liked about Grit, though, is the entertainment value. That he does not sound like anybody. He sounds like him. And I think that's kind of special. At first, I thought, oh, it sounds kind of corny. I think it's probably debatable. People might think that, but I think when I'm breaking it down, it really sounds it sounds original. I don't hear anybody like that in professional wrestling, right? We're on this last 10 years. All of professional wrestling's kind of been on this real kick, real. So that's why when you get like a guy like Orange Cassidy, people are all about it because everything is real, right? And I like that the entertainment value that you're adding to that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Xander, I thought you hit all points. I thought your facial expressions could have been a little bit better through the entire 5 minutes, but for the most part, it was really good. I thought that you brought the real, and I think you bring it well. I think you lack a little bit, or maybe 50% of it, of the entertainment value of it, of professional wrestling. And I think Ray was talking about Grit. Grit's bringing that entertainment value because remember, professional wrestling is larger than life. I thought both of you were able to hold the conversation for 5 minutes. That's why I let it go. It was interesting to hear what you guys were saying back and forth, the yin and the yang, like or just complete opposites is really what I want to say is the complete opposite, right? Xander's the warrior, the hunter. He's serious, and Grit is like Grit. Grit's a little bit laid back, but he gets intense though. But I thought it was really good. I think that the biggest thing that Xander that you liked, I think, was maybe the entertainment value. And so if I'm thinking about, I don't know, I'm thinking about like so even if you think about like MMA fighters, right? You got your MMA fighters that are really good. And then you got your Conor McGregor, who's gonna walk like he's got big balls, right? Who the fuck is this guy? He's got this entertainment value to him, and that's why people are really drawn to a guy like him. Say we can go Steve Blackman, right? Very right. He was the cheesehead guy because he was very serious. Or versus an entertainment guy like at the same era, like an X Pac or Road Dogg, right? The entertainment value takes the wrestler, takes the performer to that next level. So I think that Xander, playing with this character, I think you got something that you definitely can work with, adding in that character and entertainment value because it is professional wrestling. Premio Henio, what did you think of these two?
I think they did good for Xander or for what's his name? Grit. I like the story you were saying, how you were giving him Xander props, saying that he's a hunter, you're gonna be the animal. I see the story that okay, Grit might not have a chance, he's building up the character so much. He's not going to be able to win the fight, but then you turn it around and say, well, now you're going to be the hunter, pretty much is going to be the hunted. And so that was a good way of building up the person you're fighting and then bringing them down. For Xander, I like the fact that you were giving him the props that he deserves for having like good mic skills. You were saying, okay, you can kill me on when we're talking, but when it comes to fighting, I'm gonna like beat you. Um, you were saying his strengths. I like that you put in the David and Goliath. You were building Grit up, saying that he was the Goliath and you're going to be David, bringing him down. So you both want to win this fight. And you stayed in gimmick too. And like your voice, I believed it. When you kind of rambled, but it was good rambling when it was like, I feel it in my blood, this and that. And it's like, okay, like this guy is really this guy. So I really like that. I really like the chemistry you both had, so I didn't really think you guys up, someone from medieval times and this guy, I don't know, like a hip hop guy, but it was like, okay, like, goddamn, I want to see this. So good job, guys. I was really entertained. So
That was really good. I'm gonna let's take it to the people. This is what's gonna tell us who's gonna go to the finals. Right here. So let's go with where's my pen? Grit Gibson. Virtual hands for Grit Gibson. Who picks Grit?
eight.
I have 9. I have 9. Right now I have 9. 10. I have 10 for Grit. That might be a wrap because I think there's only 18 people in here. All right, virtual hands down. And let's go voting for. Let me lower your guys' hands. Okay, voting for Xander Craven. Who picked Xander Craven? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going once, going twice. Xander is at a 5. All right, with a landslide, Grit Gibson, 50% of more votes. Grit's going to the finals. All right, Grit Gibson. All right. So we got Jack and Owen. This is two opposites of the spectrum. Even Jack's got his suit on, and he's looking slick. All right, here we go. Look at Owen messing up his hair, getting into character. All right. Primo Henio, who is it? Who's starting? Are you still with Jack or what?
Jack Farmer.
Jack Farmer's still gonna start. All right, here we go. Semifinal. All right, counting you down, Jack. In 3, 2.
Tournaments are unpredictable. It's the very nature of them. So stop for a minute and imagine my surprise when I look across the brackets and see the man I see. Now, Mr. Dirtwood, let me explain this to you in a way even you can understand. I did not come this far to lose the tournament to a guy who has a diary to keep secrets from his computer. I'm going to win this whole thing because I deserve better than anything less than everything. Now, tip of the cap to you. You made it to round 3, which for someone like you, that's pretty good. But right now, the dream or the nightmare or whatever it is that's going through that crazy head of yours, it's over. Because it's time for me to go to the finals where I belong.
Well, first of all, Mr. Farmer, it's Driftwood. Second of all, you remind me of my lawyer, and I hate him. So, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take off that suit, I'm gonna take off this sweater, and I'm gonna kick your ass. And if you don't believe that, then I'm gonna go over to Port Hueneme, where you say you work, see about your bosses, and let them know they got a little dirt on their hands in the name of Jack Farmer. And I believe I can take your job. All I gotta do is hold a mic, correct?
Who is this guy? Who's this guy? I'm supposed to be in the ring with wrestlers. In fact, do you even have a license? You like lawyers? I'm going to get my lawyer and I'm sending him straight to you. And I need you to prove that you have a license to wrestle. You have your insurance papers in order, because I guarantee that the only file cabinet you have at your house is filled with receipts covered in different conspiracy theories. Winning this
You may be
tournament.
correct about that, Mr. Farmer, but your lawyer gonna have a damned old time finding me.
Winning this tournament is far more responsibility than someone like you can handle. Someone like me is made for this. That's why I'm here. You're here because you stumbled into the wrong building at the wrong time.
Jack, you keep saying you're made for this and made for that, and guess what? You ain't made for crap. Get out of my house. Get out of my place. Get out of my working business, because I'm tired of your stuff, buddy. And I'm tired of that little smile and that smug look on your face. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna wipe that off your face. I'm almost done with you, Farmer, but I got one more thing. Do you even own a farm?
Listen, I own a lot more than a farm, fella. And in fact, I'm going to own you once we get into this ring, because this tournament was built for people like me. People like you, you're used to people like me running you over. You're used to people like me pushing you around. The only thing that you do that gels with what people I do is you buy the crap people like me sell at 2 a.m. in the morning. So save your money, stay up late, and get that credit card ready, because that's the only time you're valuable.
Snake oil salesman, Jack, and this ain't no Fortune 500. It's the wrestling ring, damn it. And you gonna lose to me. I told you once, I'll tell you again. If I have to put you down for good, Mr. Farmer, I will do it. And I ain't buying no shit you selling on 10 o'clock, midnight, whatever time it is. But I'll tell you this one last thing, Mr. Farmer. You take that pretty mic, those pretty clothes, you ain't got nothing left. Not a damn thing. So come and meet me in my box down on Skid Row, and we'll figure this out once and for all.
Didn't you lose this tournament already? What are you even doing here? Are you even supposed to be here? Have you got your facts straight, Mr. Driftwood? Are you sure that this is the conversation you're supposed to be having? Or is this all in your head? Maybe pump the brakes a little bit. Maybe reassess what's going on. Do yourself a favor and buy some snake oil.
They're all in the eye of the beholder, okay? And my eyes tell me that facts.
Time. 5 minutes. Owen. You know when Jack is talking, I don't know if anyone else noticed this. As Jack is talking, Owen is still doing his shit, man. He is still in character 100%. I think that, look at Owen looking like he's like, whoo. Oh shit, man, I gave my heart right now. Owen, the lawyer line. You look like my lawyer, and I hate that guy. I like the way you accentuated stuff. Do you even have a farm? I thought that was I thought that was great. Really drove home your character to me. Let me know. It really let me know this guy. Yeah, he ain't there, man. He is not there. I think even at that point, that's where Jack came in and was like, "Security, this guy's not even supposed to fucking be here." I thought that was really good. My biggest critique, Owen. I thought you were firing on all cylinders. My biggest critique, Owen. You did mention the word shit. Yes. Yeah, I think, right, crap, trash, garbage, right? So easy. I think, right, just so stay with it. But other than that, I thought it was really good. Jack, you know what you remind me of, Jack? You remind me of like Billy Zane's friend from the Titanic. Like, that's the guy that's who you would hang out with. You, like, looking at you, right? You look like a baby face, like a good guy is what I mean, not a baby face, good guy. And as you're talking, man, I feel like there's this incredible heel in you. I really feel that there's this real heel coming out a little bit in the character. Let me ask you, you liked wrestling? You got these pictures in the background.
Yeah.
You ever want to be the good guy or the bad guy?
When I was young, I wanted to be the good guy, but then I grew up and I wanted to be the bad guy. In real life, I'm a super nice guy. Honestly, I'm kind of a goof. And so I think it's fun to be different and be a jerk. You know, I don't know. It's fun.
100%. That's right. That's what pro wrestling is, right? For us, all us regular Joes here, we're like pro wrestling. We love pro wrestling because we can be anything we want to be. We could turn it on, right? Because you are. I've met you. I've worked with you, Jack. You're the nicest guy, humble guy. But I feel that there's this good type of Miz type of heel in you. I was thinking Eric Bischoff a little bit. I was trying to think, kind of stuck on Billy Zane's buddy. I don't know. He was just really smug guy to me when I saw him in that movie, Titanic. But yeah, you really got something there as a heel. And Owen firing all cylinders. I don't know, Jack, if Owen threw you off your game today. It seemed like you were not on offense, but on defense today. That's it seemed that you were like, I have to like bat these coming at me. Where it seemed yesterday you were in way more control in the battles. That was just what I saw in it. Primo Genio, what did you think of these two?
Well, feeding off what you said, I think what if he got thrown off was that Owen wasn't insulted with the insults that Jack Farmer was saying, like with the, hey, you keep the red receipts, like, well, you know what, I sure do. It's right here in the back. So you were feeding off of his. So it's like showing like, man, what do I gotta say to insult this guy? I'm trying to say I'm gonna beat you in a fight, but he's not like, it's not registering it to him, and it was just pissing him off. So that was funny. But I did like the story that you were saying, like, okay, it's gonna be a tournament, and you're looking at him across the way. Let me see. I like the fact that you were bringing in the character that I said, the smug, like even a simple thing as you said, I'm selling it thing, you buy the things that I'm selling at 2 a.m. Meaning that like, hey, you don't even fucking care about like your old possessions, which are probably like better than stuff that like I have right now. So I like that. And with Owen, you were just, you know your character so well. You felt really comfortable. You were taking his insults, and you were like, well, of course I have like the receipts. I like that one. It was like, I was like, what is he gonna say for this one? He's like, yes, I sure do. I got a whole case of them. So I really liked it. Yeah, I just didn't expect this from you. The first day I saw you, you were all, closed up, but now, what's your wrestling name? Your gimmick name?
Oh, Mr. Driftwood.
Mr. Driftwood. Okay, it brought something out of you, man. So I look forward to seeing you both do this again, and I liked it,
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Jack. Keep that heel. Nobody wants to be heel today. Everybody wants to be loved. Even the heels want to be loved in wrestling today, and I understand why, of course. Right? It's a show, but man, keep that heel. That's like there's not many heels in wrestling when you really think of breaking it down that way. Guys that just really want. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care what you think about me, right? Because it's a show. And right, whenever people think anything is real in wrestling, I always go, "Oh, come on, they're marks. Like I'm entertaining right here. I'm not. That's not really me. I'm acting." But yeah, keep that heel, and I wouldn't let that go away just because there's not enough. There's not enough people that want to be that are okay with being hated. People, we all want to sell our T-shirts. We want to be cheered. We want to be loved. I get it, but there has to be that villain. People love the Joker, right? People love the Joker. So,
It
all right.
it stands out too. It's so believable. It's like, God damn.
Yeah.
I look like a real jerk. It helps.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I say that's that Mimi, the smug guy Mimi, and that's something. That's Jack, man. That's Jack. All right, we're gonna take it to the people. We're gonna take it to the people. Virtual hands for Jack Farmer. Jack Farmer. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it looks like we got one. Yeah, there you go, Jack. Hey, that's what I'm saying. We vote for ourselves, man. I ain't going out like that. All right. All right. Here we go. Is that two for Jack Farmer? Two for Jack Farmer. All right. Here we go. Two for Jack Farmer coming down. And let's see. Maybe no one's listening. All right. Hands for Mr. Driftwood. Everybody's listening. Mr. Driftwood. 10. 10 on Mr. Driftwood. Out of nowhere. This guy is coming out of nowhere. Mr. Driftwood, you got one more in you. Do you? He's got. Hey, you know what? Because he kind of like after that promo, he kind of did this, put his glasses back on, and was like I'm battling over here. The guy is battling. Now he's going up against Grit Gibson. Mr. Driftwood from an alternate. If you've never seen it, watch UFC 1. UFC 1, that's what happens. These guys are going to the tournament and the alternate comes in to finish up because the guys get hurt or whatever happens. But man, and I'm going to tell you, Mr. Driftwood, it is that entertainment value that's bringing you to the finals. So good job. Congratulations, Mr. Driftwood. Thank you, Jack Farmer. All right. So, Grit, are you ready? Okay, Grit is ready. Grit, let's go ahead and go off of mute. Mr. Driftwood, are you ready? All right, here we go. Primo Henio, who's going first?
Driftwood this time.
Driftwood started up. Okay, here we go. Count you down in 3, 2.
Grit Gibson, welcome to the finals, baby. I knew I'd see you here. And I've loved seeing everything you've done. Puffed out chest, yelling in front of your house. Your neighbors probably think you're as crazy as me. Shit. What? No, you're not. Sorry, baby. We gonna do this thing 1-on-1. And this is gonna be the finals, because this is the finals. I didn't think I'd be here. I didn't think it would happen like this. But guess what? When I start going, I don't stop. I'm like a train locomotive going down the tracks, baby.
Yeah, chugga, choo-choo, brother.
Get it, baby.
Yeah, chugga, choo-choo, man. Dude, I love you. You are awesome. Man, I don't know whether I should punch you in the face or chase UFOs with you. You're great, man. But here's the thing. You've done such a great job. You stepped in. You stepped in and you came hard. I appreciate that. I respect that. And you are one crazy SOB. I mean, you are wild. You are insane.
I'm sorry. I got you saying the same thing, Grit. So tell me what you're going to do to me if there is anything you think you can do.
Even the craziest people get embarrassed, Driftwood. And you've had yourself a beautiful Cinderella story coming all the way to the finals here. But guess what? You are going to get embarrassed and exposed as just a crazy, loony guy.
Well, I'm not ready to take off the glass slipper yet, Grit. I'm wearing this baby all night long. And right
if you don't take off the glass slipper, I'm going to break it. I'm going to break your glass slipper and shatter your Cinderella dreams. Guess what? It's not midnight anymore, buddy. It's my time. It's time to get gritty.
Gritty? You don't know Gritty. I slept on the streets,
Gritty.
Baby.
We got that in common, brother. I grew up on the north side of Milwaukee. I had to scratch. I had to claw. I had to choose. I had to either be grit or I had to die. There was not an option.
Well,
you are crazy by choice. I am crazy because I had to be. I am crazy by requirement. I am crazy and insane. And I am loco because that is the only way I can survive, brother.
You crazy? Well, I'm crazy by choice, Grit Gibson.
And that's not enough.
This is the thing that we have to do right here. These padded walls won't hold me from dropping you on that pretty little head of yours, just like I did to Halston Body.
Oh, we both dropped Halston Body. That's not a thing to weigh against anything, brother. That ain't nothing. Man, I'm excited to put you in your little straitjacket and toss you all around the ring, bouncing you from rope to rope, bopping you on the head, tripping you at your legs. I'm going to drop you so hard, you're going to go sane, man. You're going to be sane.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time. Maybe that'd make me just as good as Jack Farmer, and I can buy myself a little suit and look all nice. But for now, Grit, it's just me and you, and I'm telling you, if I have to do this to you, I really do love you. But if I have to do this, I'm going to do it. And this is real, man. That pile driver is no joke. That clothesline, baby, I'll put some stank on it just for you.
Oh, yeah. Put it on, baby. Put it on, because that's just going to make me fight harder. Man, that's going to make me really pull out that inner grit, man. I practically go effing Super Saiyan, dude. You
I
can't
don't know
stop
what
me.
Super Saiyan is, but I'm Super Insane. That's for sure, my friend. And we gonna keep doing this until the lights get turned off, baby.
Oh
Because
yeah, I'm
I
gonna
am
love it. Turn the
Radio
lights
Rick
off.
Gibson.
Turn the lights off. I will stand here and yell at you
We have
until the
dark
lights
match.
turn
Yeah,
off.
okay. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a very good
Sounds
plan.
like a plan,
You just
man.
get in the back of my van here, Grit, and I'll take you to a real nice, comfortable room.
Can I tell you something, Mr. Driftwood? I have never been
Please.
more excited. I have never been more excited for anything in my life. I can't wait.
Well, that makes two of us, Grit, because it's going to be a great time, but we all know who's going to win this thing. We'll be
Grit
right back
Gibson!
after the finish line. Okay. I'll be right by where's the finish line. Thank you very
I'm already
much,
at the finish
Grit.
line, brother.
Thanks for coming. Here's your gift bag. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, I don't like Twizzlers. Dork.
Oh, well, I do. Give it all back now. Give it all back.
Time. Oh, right. There goes Owen again, right? Hey, the character is like, all right, put it back in the drawer. Oh man, you know, I was thinking, I was like, Owen kept saying, or Mr. Driftwood kept saying, baby. I was like, where is that coming from? What's that baby? And it reminded me of Jimmy Hart. Sounded like he sounds like Jimmy Hart a little bit. I think Jack Farmer says that's why I didn't try to insult Owen. He can just shrug everything off. Yeah, you're real smooth. Let me ask you, Owen.
Yeah.
You started off kind of slow. And actually, I put myself on mute, and I'm saying to myself, "Come on, Owen, do it." And I think you started off slow, and I don't know. You tell me. I felt because this is what I feel sometimes. I feel like you were trying not to win in the very beginning. That's what I felt. I felt that you were like, I don't feel like I belong here. I don't believe in myself. I find a lot of people don't believe in themselves enough. And then I think, man, you went like 15 seconds of that little bit of that's what I felt. You went 15 seconds and then it just turned on. I don't know if now this character is just takes over you, if it consumes you, but whatever it is, when you turn it on, it just takes over, firing on all cylinders, hitting your lines, shrugging everything off. The insane line. Like you were just boom, 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 ready. You're throwing it out, right?
You hit that out of the park, baby.
Yes.
I was like, I hope he says this.
Yes, like really, just a good matchup.
I think at the beginning it was because I had to go first this time. So all the other times I got to get, Heidi, Jack, Joshua throwing shit at me. So it's like, okay, I can get this going. But
Yeah, Jack says Owen has insult judo. But yeah, it's just really, really good. I want you to believe, right? Nobody is ready. No one's ever ready. When they give John Cena the belt, or no one gives you anything in wrestling, when John Cena earns the championship belt for the first time, I don't know how many years ago, like nobody's ready. You either sink or you swim. What can you or can't you do with this title? You know, um, as we look at John Cena and go, he's the man. Of course he was ready, man, but nobody ever is. It's just it happens, and I just need you and everybody else to really believe in yourself. See yourself cutting race. I said this the first day, 17 classes ago, cutting down the nets. Imagine yourself cutting down the nets. In college basketball, they cut down the nets when they win the championship. Imagine yourself, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to be a pro wrestler at WrestleMania. Imagine yourself holding that belt at the main event, the last match, while Randy Orton wrestled before you or whoever it is. You have to imagine yourself doing that. Speak it, believe it, think it into existence, and believe in yourself. I find far too often people don't believe in themselves enough, including myself, man. I'm just like everybody else. I just been doing this a little bit longer than everybody else here. So I always find that just really believe in yourself that, yeah, I deserve to be in the main event, and I'm not going to self-sabotage myself. And that's why I felt, is he self-sabotaging himself a little bit? He's just started a little bit slow. You told me, okay, I started because I was starting first, but I just made me think of that, and that's why I wanted to drive this point home about believing in yourself, because it made me think of myself, about self-sabotaging yourself at times, and saying, well, I don't know if I'm ready for this, so let me you know, if I fail, that's okay. Let me come back in 12 years and try, and then they'll tell me everything sucks still. So, really believe in yourself and move forward. Grit, I thought, a really great job bringing the entertainment value. I want to say the same thing that I saw in Jack. I don't know if Mr. Driftwood's judo kind of threw you off a bit. I'm not sure because it seemed like the same thing. You weren't on the offense. You were now on the defense. You were defending yourself as opposed to being in control the way you were with yesterday, with even today's battle and yesterday's battles. And I thought that you were, man, my back is against the wall. I'm a fighter. My back's up against the ropes, and I'm just got to defend myself and make it through. That's how I felt. Maybe that's his Owens Owens judo. Primo Henio, what did you think?
Uh, I thought they did really good. I did notice that Owen was always kind of going. Uh, Driftwood was always going second, so I was like, okay, maybe if I make him go first, maybe it'll like, maybe let's see what's gonna happen. But started off a little slow, but you did great. For Grit, I like the fact that you were still mentioning that Owen's crazy and he's likable. So you'll chase UFOs with him. That's how much you like him. You'll do the crazy stuff with him. So that I like that. You guys played off well against each other. I believed Owen is the smaller guy, but yet he looked like he was kind of like the bigger guy, and you're all pissed off about it. Like, why the fuck is this guy gonna be like embarrassing me? Like, no, and you try to insult him, but then again, the Owen judo, he took the insults and made it his strengths. So I really liked it. The only thing is Grit, you were kind of cutting off Owen when he was talking, so it wasn't back and forth. You were trying to cut his momentum, which I mean, you can like do that, that's you're trying to mess up his momentum. So, you did what you had to do to try to win or to win. So, I mean, you guys are the finals for a reason, and I really enjoyed this one. So,
Yeah, I thought it was really good. All right, here we go. We're going to take it to the people. We're going to take it to the people here. All right. Virtual hands for Mr. Driftwood. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mr. Driftwood once. 11. Mr. Driftwood twice. All right. Virtual hands down. Virtual hands down. And all right, here we go. Let's go. Hands for Grit Gibson. Virtual hands for Grit Gibson. Grit Gibson once. Grit Gibson twice. All right, 11-5. Owen, a Cinderella story. A Cinderella story of Owen. I think even taking it to the people or taking it to the student body, the last two battles, Owen, like you beat him in a landslide by more than 50% of the votes. And no pushovers. Jack Farmer and Grit were no pushovers. So congratulations, Mr. Driftwood. Right, I want to go back to the entertainment value in professional wrestling is really what drives it home. A lot of the times when we go back and think, who brought you into the business? Like, who did you watch? Did you watch Kane? Who was it that you watched? And try to pick it apart and what you liked about them. And I'm not saying it's not going to work for everybody. You're going to say, man, I liked Steve Blackman. That was the guy that made me want to be a wrestler. Never heard anyone say that, but I'm sure there's people out there, So entertainment value. Think about the entertainment value. The entertainment value, right? Took Owen to that. People like that character. People can connect with that character. That's what we're trying to do. Connect with our audience. And now we're connecting with the audience of our peers, which is even harder than the fans. It totally is harder, right? Because I don't know about you guys. I'm over here thinking, man, I'm the best, man. I should have won this thing. I got screwed over in the voting process. That's what I'm thinking. Really, inside, I'm still saying, hey, congratulations, Driftwood, but that's bullshit, dude. I was way better. And I hope that you guys are saying that. Um, reason being, I think there's too much in wrestling where I'm so happy for this person. Great. I know you're happy. Bullshit, you're fucking happy. I know you want to be there too, right? I'm sick of people saying I'm so fucking happy. Well, what about you? What about you? What about you? Who's going to be happy for you? And I just think that focus on yourself. You do want, yeah, I do want to win. I deserve it. Work relentlessly to get to the prize, Um, but I think that was good. I hope there's people in here saying, bullshit. I could take Owen now. Give me one more shot at him. Battle one on one. Not in a hateful way, but saying, hey, dude, I want to be the best at what I do too.
I
So
want redemption.
what's that?
I want
Yeah.
redemption.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. So all right. Really fun. I always have the most fun doing the promos, seeing how everybody goes through it. So we did 7 classes on promos. I think we did about 5 of them or maybe 4 of them with Coach Bob, who's always really good at it. So I hope that we've done the seven sessions. It doesn't end there, right? We are going to our entire career. We are going to fix our personalities in wrestling, our characters in wrestling, tweak them, turn them, change them around, see what works. Right? Just because we've taken 7 classes doesn't mean it's over. I should know. I should have my character down. It's a process for some of us. And for some of us, if you think, Greg Gibson's got his character down, man, he if he goes into the business and trains, and you never know, in 3 years it's going to be completely different after you kind of learn yourself and find yourself. So it's always a process in your character in pro wrestling, but I think it's more than 50% of the game in pro wrestling is the promos. So important. Going back to the ring stuff, we could work a headlock match really, as long as we are entertaining as characters. They'll watch anything you do. They will watch anything you do. So let's think about that. Let's keep working on our characters. It doesn't end here either. We all have 4K phones in our pocket, right? So let's film ourselves. Let's keep doing promos. Reaching out to people, seeing what they think, getting critiques. Right? You said, hey, follow Freddie Rosser on Twitter. Well, send him a message. See if he responds to you. Right? That's the best thing about this. About today, you can actually just message some of these wrestlers where before it was like I have no clue how to. You had to book through this one woman, this agent in Southern California, and she'd book all the wrestlers, and that was it. You can reach out yourself to these wrestlers now today. So let's think about that. All right. All right. So we couldn't have Jake Atlas here today, but I do have his note. I do have notes for when Brody and Jake Atlas do the Q&A. So if any of you have any questions about what's next right here. So I hope we all know what's next. Actually, we got the ring up in a building. We're gonna invite the alumni that have already gone through the training, and obviously the trainers to get in and start working with us. And then hopefully, if all goes well with opening up, following our the CDC guidelines, that maybe we'll be able to open the school up officially, publicly, without any problems of anyone trying to shut us down and have them do a false start or anything like that. And that's where you guys come in. So that's the plan right now. I know that there's people that are eager and they're like, I'm taking this class right now and I'm ready to go to training right now, like next week. I'll give you a list of there's a lot of wrestling schools out in Southern California. They're all my colleagues. The list that I give you, I trust them all. And we're all a little bit different, from Jesse Hernandez's school to Rikishi's school, Knox Pro, to my buddy at the LA Dojo, Anoki Dojo. It's a Labranito. It's like a lucha dojo. So everybody's got something special that they bring to the table and different. So I'll give you a list of those, and just tell them, hey, I took the online class with Santino Brothers with Chaos, and he gave me this phone number and this list to reach out to you about starting my training. Because the truth is, for you guys right now, if everything goes well with us opening this ring back up, And we're just really at the mercy of letting Los Angeles County open up the gyms. Um, and so we're probably at 60 days at the earliest for us to allow any of you guys to come in as beginners. And that's just an optimistic time frame that I'm giving. These other guys, they like a couple of schools are in B-Boys in San Diego. I know there's a couple in Orange County, so the restrictions are a little bit different. But it's going to be up to you, and I'll give you that list. But I know that there's been a lot of students from the other previous online classes that are just they're waiting for Santino Brothers. I think everybody's under the same thing. I'm not missing out right now. Everything is closed down, and so we're waiting. So that's the idea right now. Hey man, in 60 days, I might tell you again. Hey, it's going to be another 60 days at best. This is just the way it's working out. Um, or the couple of other options would be take less classes and maybe train people once a week. We normally train you 3 times a week, the same way this class is Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Um, so I've thought of different options. If I could take probably more students, if I get them in once a week, um, and then see if that'll work. And the reason being is because I can't get burnt out. If I get burnt out, then I'm not giving you my best in training. And I never want to farm my trainees through just through this moves. I want I want the best from everybody. I want everybody to be better than I ever dreamed of being in professional wrestling, and that's always my goal when I train people. So that's the update on what's going on. You guys are the first to know. I've talked to some of my alumni uh, individually, but I haven't talked to to everybody. So some of the alumni probably don't even know that the ring is actually back up just as of yet. So that's the update with that. But I'll definitely give you a list of wrestling schools from San Diego up to I think Simi Valley that are operating right now. I believe with COVID restrictions, and that you could reach out to them and train with them. And when I started, it was like you didn't go to another wrestling school. It was like we would hate you if you went to another wrestling school. Me, I'm different. I want the best out of you. I can't teach you what Rikishi can teach you. And I think the same way, Rikishi can't teach you what I can teach you, and vice versa, all the way down the line. I think like first day when I tell you guys get a sponge, put it in your bag, right? We have to be a sponge and absorb all the knowledge everywhere. And I understand there's only so much I can teach you. I can only teach you everything I know, and then you got to go somewhere else and learn more. And even I always tell people like I would never go to a Lance Storm school um, as a beginner. I wouldn't want to waste his time doing that. That's why there's these other schools like our schools to go as a beginner. And once you already learn, then you go to Lance Storm school and it's not operating right now, but I always tell people that you go to that school to now pick his brain, right? You don't want to pick his brain on how to do a roll, right? You should already do that. You should already know how to do that because he's got a high level caliber knowledge of professional wrestling, and right, we don't want to just do the basics with the guys. So I always say that on so that way because you always have to absorb. You never just train for 12 months and say it's done. I don't know any athlete that does that. Everybody trains to be the best they can every single day, right? I've been doing this 26 years. I just put it on autopilot. It doesn't work that way. I can't put it on autopilot. I will blow up in that ring. I will twist my ankle. My footwork will be off if I'm not in that ring. I can't just be like, well, I've wrestled for 27 years. If I want to be in that ring, I constantly have to train at it, and that's what I need. That's what I want everybody to do. So even if you're gonna wait for Santino Brothers, or maybe it's just not a right fit at some of these other schools, um, you always have to put in that work ethic. So whether it's maybe doing match review, working more on your promos, understanding different psychology, right? There's different psychologies for different countries, different areas of this country, different psychology for different characters, right? So there's always something to learn in professional wrestling, even if it's just listening to some of these podcasts about how Razor Ramon came up in the business or AJ Styles how he came up in the business. Like that's a load of knowledge right there. You should take it as a class and write down notes, really how to conduct yourself. So it's we're always learning. It's the day that you want to stop learning. That's when you hang your boots up. It's when you hang your boots up, right? Because you don't want to try to be any better, and you're not trying to you're not trying to make the business better. So that's always been my key on it. So Here are some of the things that Brody and Jake went over when they do the Q&A. They say you need to show discipline and put in the hard work and determination. And these guys will tell you if they were here how they pretty much like Brody King was in a indie band. He's still in an indie band called God's Hate. And when he started wrestling, like he fell into wrestling to where his bandmates were like, "Where are you? Where have you been?" And he'll tell you, it's like I fell into wrestling and you have to dive into it head first. And you kind of like you're only friends in that time when you're diving in head first. You're only wrestlers. You're not talking to your bandmates because they can't relate. You're always at training. You're always talking about wrestling. You're always trying to learn more. Not saying that you're ditching your friends. It's just something else that you're falling into and learning. And that's why they always say you have to put in that discipline, put in the hard work. They would be here sometimes from 4 p.m. till midnight, 3 days a week, not just coming for their classes and right. And that's why they elevated so quickly, is because they had the discipline, right? I don't want to work out. Yeah, we all have that feeling, right? That resistance we talked about, right? I don't want to work out. Well, you got to show discipline. And if you ever watched, I think it was a movie called Wrestling with Shadows about Bret Hart getting screwed over. I don't know which movie it was, but it had Stu Hart in it. Might have been Beyond the Mat too. I'm not sure. And Stu Hart is wrestling a big jacked up dude, and Stu Hart is just in his Stu Hart voice, shows some discipline, shows some as he's twerking the guy up, and the guy is screaming at the top of his lungs, shows some discipline. That's coming from Stu Hart. And if you think about Stu Hart, like if you think about in the world of wrestling schools, the Hart family dungeon is kind of like what I always wanted to try to be. I always remember when I was coming up, people would lie and say, "Oh yeah, I went to the Hart school," and then you'd ask, "Wow, you went to the Hart school? He must be really good." And someone comes in and says, "No, he went one day and they kicked him out." Right? And I said, "Man, that's what I want. I want my school to be so great that people are lying that they're coming to my school." That's the goal. And so, like, I think about that. Stu Hart saying, "Show some discipline. Show some discipline. Even when it hurts, even when it's painful, show the discipline. You know, keep moving forward. Things didn't go your way. You're supposed to get the belt. They changed it on you that day. Show some discipline." I know it sucks. You're a professional, right? It's called pro wrestling. It's not called, outlaw wrestling. It's called pro wrestling because we're pros, so we have to be professional, even when things don't go our way. Here's another thing they say is when being creative, you only need to be 15% different. I think Jake said that Terry Taylor told him this. You only have to be 15% different, right? Everything is a little bit recycled in pro wrestling. Even when you're doing logos, when you make a logo, if your logo is 15% different than the Raider logo or 10% different than the Raider logo, they really can't come back at you for infringing on their logo. So when you're thinking about it, just got to be 15% different. You don't got to be all the way out there. Everything is recycled in wrestling. There's I don't know. You guys probably don't know. There's a spot Bobby Heenan did. It's called the Weasel Spot, where at the end of the match, the Ultimate Warrior put him in a weasel suit, and he ends up chasing his tail around. I always remember that. I remember that. I remember him chasing his tail, and then I remember seeing AWA, and there's Bobby Heenan doing the Weasel Spot, and I was like, "What is this? Recycled?" You know, really is recycled in wrestling, right? Making it 15% different. So thinking about when you want to be creative, just all you gotta do is be 15% different. You know, you don't really have to go all the way out there. Brody will say, "Don't mark out for the letters of the company." He actually says, "Mark out for the money." Think about it, right? So, and what he is saying, and I'll probably differ on that, but what he is saying is he is saying that sometimes just because and here's what happens, we'll get a ring rental from NBC and they'll tell us we're doing Jane the Virgin, this is a show, we get 5 million viewers each week, this, that, and the other, and they go, "Okay, ring rental. Oh, we're working on a real skeleton budget here, we don't have much money." And they want me to mark out for NBC Jane the Virgin. "Oh, I'll do it at half the price for you guys." And I never do that. I say, "No, this is our ring rental. It's $1,500. That's it. That's it." And I make them pay for it because I refuse to mark out for just, "Oh, I'm going to go on the NBC lot and we're going to set up the ring for a TV show." And so that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying, right? Don't. And so when I say like wrestle with your heart, wrestle, right? Don't think about the money. He's actually saying like don't get taken advantage of just because you're working for the WWE or AEW. There's a certain extent, of course, right? Hey, maybe you have to fly yourself out to AEW and work for free first couple of times, but I wouldn't end up doing that for 3 months, 6 months. At that point, it's like they don't want. They're not interested in you, but you keep showing up, wrestling for free, flying out on your own dime, because you're marking out for the letters, right? So that's what he means by that. Um, become good at negotiating. What's the pay? What are the details? And nobody wants to ask for pay in wrestling, and I get it. It sucks. I'll get trainers here at Santino Brothers, and they'll say, "Can I run a class?" And when it comes time for them to ask for dues, they'll usually ask Sylvia, "Can you ask everybody?" Because they just don't want to ask for pay for some reason. Providing a service, it's okay to ask for pay. Learn to negotiate. It'll take you a long way because we always say, "Oh, I'm booked on AEW. Great, that's awesome. I'll be there April 21st." Maybe I should have said, "What's the pay rate?" And then they'll usually come back and say, "Well, tell us what you want to get paid." 150. Sure, that's great. And then you go, "God damn it, I should have said 300, huh?" He said yes without stuttering. You know what I mean? Learn to negotiate. And so that's what I would do. And what Brody means by don't mark for those letters, mark for the money. Learn to negotiate. I would also thinking about getting a job to pay for your wrestling. How about like Tracy Smothers taught us? Because then you're not worried about I'm wrestling for this company and they're not paying me my rate. You can actually go and wrestle with your heart because you're not worried about the pay rate. So there's going to be a nice balance that you're going to find yourself in there, learning how to negotiate, learning what your worth is, learning what you need to do in order to get ahead. So, well, I got to fly myself out to Florida to wrestle and get on TV on AEW, and then maybe I can get on the radar somewhere. There's always a reason why you're doing stuff. Um, how about this one? Don't buy into your own bullshit. When everybody loves you, right? Everybody, right? Marilyn Manson says everybody loves you when you're on the covers, and when you're not, they love another, right? But when you're on those fucking covers, I've been on the covers, the DVD covers, the wrestling magazine covers, um, they love you, and you start believing your own fucking bullshit. Don't. Just keep working hard. Keep working hard so you can stay on the covers, right? That's always was when I started, where you always wanted to be on the magazine covers. I don't know what it is today. Maybe it's the poster, the graphic. I'm not sure, but for me, it was always the magazine covers. How about this one? Find out what do you have within you that makes you likable. Find what that special thing is in you. What makes you likable? Just you. Not your character. What makes you likable? Why do you have friends? Why do you talk to people? Find out what makes you likable and tune into that. That's what's really going to help you connect with the wrestling audience. And I think that's another one from Terry Taylor to Jake Atlas. Terry Taylor was I always remember him as the Red Rooster. He's so much more than just a Red Rooster. Um, but yeah, look him up if you haven't seen Terry Taylor. Um, how about this? You have to dedicate your life to the game and make life happen according to your goal. You need to have to give all your into this business. You have to give your all in this business, right? Going back to Brody King, not losing his bandmates, but just falling and diving into this wrestling so deep, right? To where people are, where's my friend, man? He's not. Oh man, I'm busy over here with this wrestling thing. I'm pretty good at it. I love it. It consumes my soul. So, right, you're gonna have to thinking about it, right? These guys dedicate their life, and that's like be the hardest worker in the room. So if there's someone dedicating your life, and you're trying to make it on a moonlight, because you got a good career, you're not making all the trainings, but you're putting in the work. It's going to be a little bit tougher for you, but some people that like my uncle, he never really wanted to go to WWE. He just wanted to wrestle. He had his kid, he had his wife, he had his job. And he just loved doing death matches. And he knew that if he went to like a network show that he wasn't gonna be able to do death matches. He really loved that shit. And I called him out and I said, "Bullshit, you wouldn't go to WWE. Bullshit." And he was like, I got a wife, I got a kid. I'm not gonna fucking pick up my whole life and move somewhere for some wrestling thing, because I just like doing what I'm doing. And I was like, oh, okay, everyone's goal is not going to network television wrestling. Everyone's goal is different. So it may work for you if that's your goal, but if your goal is holding that belt at WrestleMania, you're gonna have to dedicate your life to professional wrestling. Like really dive into it, and you gotta find that balance. I'm gonna tell you, don't miss those special occasions. Your grandma's 50th wedding anniversary, be there because Dumbass Chaos wasn't there for my grandma's wedding anniversary because I was at some important wrestling show that I cannot think of today of what it was. And when she passed away, they used all those pictures from the 50th wedding anniversary because all the family was there except me. And I wasn't in one of those pictures. And I regret that I talk about it till today. And she passed away 8 years ago. So like find that balance. You're gonna find at 22 years old, I would have told you, fuck Christmas, fuck New Year's Eve, uh, 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 4th of July, Valentine's Day. I don't care. Those are wrestling days. Thanksgiving, wrestling day, just like football. Halloween, wrestling day. Doesn't matter. There is no a holiday for you. You're a wrestler. Now I preach different. Find that balance. Find the balance. I used to wrestle on Christmas Day all the time. What an idiot. I love it. I love that I did it. I wouldn't make a habit out of it. Your family and your friends are really important. And you know what? At the end of the day, those are going to be the people that are going to be there at your deathbed. So take care of them. The wrestlers, your wrestling friend acquaintances, I tell you from day one, there ain't no friends in wrestling. Oh man, Chaos is in the hospital. Damn, that sucks, right? I'll get a nice little tweet and that's it. But probably won't get a visit. You know what I mean? Take care of your friends and family because they're going to be with you till the end. Um, Perfect. Next one. You need to find your support system to help you on your journey. That's what Brody and Jake said. Find your support system because it's tough. People don't believe in this shit. What are you doing? Oh, really? You made 40 fucking bucks and you're a new guy. Eh? 40 bucks is decent, man. That's really good. You're a new guy. Who are you to get 40 bucks? Really? Really? And you're thinking in real life, you're like 40 bucks, man. That's bullshit money. You'll learn real quick in wrestling. If you get paid 20, 25 bucks, I mean, that's decent. That's about average. 25 bucks. If you're really good, maybe you're getting paid 300 bucks. If you're exceptionally well, then maybe you're getting paid 500, it's even up to $1,000. But, on our level, when we're breaking in, man, it might be 25 bucks, so you're going to have to find that support system. So I have a student, Ray Romero, and his dad is like, fuck this wrestling. We talk about it. And he says, oh, so you got paid 40 bucks, so now you're ready to quit your job? And he's like, Dad, like, come on, man, like, help me out. But I get it. I get where his dad's coming from. I dealt with that. Oh, what are you doing? Go to school, get a real job, put your passion into something, right? So you're gonna have to find that support system, and don't hate the people that don't believe in it. They just don't understand it right now, and that's okay. That's okay. Don't hold a grudge against them because that's too much energy, too much time wasted. You got to put all your energy into trying to make it in WWE or AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling or in professional wrestling as a whole as it is, because it's tough as it is. You don't have time to put your energy into hating someone that you love. They just don't understand, and that's okay. That's when people say wrestling is fake. I don't get mad anymore. People just don't understand. I don't even defend it. It's okay. You don't understand. It's different. I'm not gonna say get in the ring and I'll beat your ass. I'll kick your teeth in. I don't want to do any of that. It's just what we do as an art, you know. So the same thing. Find that support system. There's gonna be some non-believers. That's okay. And then you know what? When you start doing some real shit in wrestling, they're gonna love you. Don't hold it against them for not understanding in the beginning. It happened. That was my mom. That was my mom, right? That was my mom. What is this stupid sideshow wrestling that you're doing? Now, so proud of the wrestling, And I don't. At first, I was like, "Oh, now you love it, huh, mom?" Like, no, okay, all right. She just didn't get it. She didn't understand the same way I don't understand shit, you know. Um, Bet on yourself. Orange Cassidy bet on himself. Everyone probably told him that's garbage fucking character. That's never gonna work in pro wrestling. If you told me that before I seen Orange Cassidy actually perform on an AEW, I'd have said, I don't know, man. That sounds like career sabotage right there, career suicide. Like I don't know. That seems rough. What are you gonna do? You're gonna wrestle like you're a sloth? Okay, buddy. But it works. He bet on himself, right? Matt Vandegrift wanted to be an alien. Eli Everfly said, that's so fucking stupid. So if Matt said, okay. And I remember I went back to Al. I said, Matt, don't let him break your spirit, man. Right, bet on yourself to that end. If it falls flat, it falls flat, but keep moving forward with it. Don't say it's stupid and walk away from it. Then that girl did it in AEW, and I think that's why she got signed, eating a pizza backwards because she was an alien, Chris Stratlander, and it can work on a national level too at that, right? Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Believe in yourself, right? Going back to far too many people do not believe in themselves. That's not for me. That's okay. That's not right. We're in school, king and prom king and prom queen. It's not for me. That's for those other guys or those other people. It's not, bet on your fucking self. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you are going to be holding that belt, cutting down the nets, in your career. And this is just going to be a footnote in your career because you're going to do other things. I don't know. Maybe you're going to become, build the biggest skyscraper in the world. Who knows what you're going to end up doing? You know. They wrote it down right here, and I'll put the notes. You have to believe in yourself. It's almost recurrent now, saying the same thing, repeating ourselves. You know, um, people recognize hard work is another one. People recognize hard work, and I believe you're moving that fucking ring. Bullshit ass ring crew. This sucks. It looks like nobody's paying attention to you. You know, you're working your ass off, sweating, moving every board, moving every rail, moving every side rail, every pole. And there's going to be other people there. And they're like, oh, I got to take a phone call outside. And they go for 10. Man, it only takes 30 minutes to put up a fucking ring. So if you're gone for a third of that, Jesus Christ. Then they got all the guys that are stand in the back. Oh, well, there's too many people at the truck. I don't want to be in the way. But they never go to the front of the truck. We see all of that. You may think all this hard work is unseen, whether it's putting hard work as ring crew, putting hard work as doing training matches, putting hard work just in wrestling. People notice. They may not say anything. How many times do we go to YouTube and do we watch a video? Do you comment or even like? If we don't subscribe, but do you comment or even like a video that you actually like? Hell no. I don't. Sometimes I go, oh man, I always like to get subscriptions from YouTube and likes and stuff like that. So I try to remember, oh, I should like this video. But I don't. I just watch and go to the next one. I watch it, go to the next one. People are recognizing it, but just because they're not commenting doesn't mean that it's not there. People will recognize that hard work and it will pay off. And believe me, you will believe that all this hard work is not paying off. And why the hell are you wasting your time anyway? Because, I'm moving a ring and they're giving Joe a spot right off the bat and he doesn't even help out. Like, what the fuck? All that's just going to go into your head. Don't just keep putting in that. What are you doing it for you? You should want to learn everything that you're doing. Yeah, hey, they told me to set the seats out 12 inches apart. You start learning how to be. I didn't know how to be a promoter until I started doing all this crap, all the ring crew and all this, that, and the other. Hey, what are you doing over here? Yeah, I'm advertising. Okay, I didn't know any of that until I had to do the work. Passing out flyers, that sucks ass. I hate it, and especially I'm on the flyer. Oh, this is embarrassing, man. I used to do that for XPW, like be there passing out flyers with me on the flyer. It was embarrassing. But you put in the hard work. Um, People will recognize that. People will recognize when you love this business with a passion. I think that's an understatement. People recognize this when you love this business with a passion. Like, just love it. Just love it, right? Right. We just said, hey, mark out for the money. Like, I get it. That's learn to negotiate. Become a businessman. This is a business. But man, when you love this business with a passion, and you got someone that's me coming up on 30 years of wrestling, I recognize that right away. I'm drawn to that because I dedicated my fucking life to pro. I don't know anything else. Started at 14 years old. Had jobs here and there, but all my jobs were to pay for my wrestling habit. Really, so I didn't have to work a regular day job. Wrestling was my job, you know. And so, just when you love this business with a passion, the way I do, I recognize that right away. I recognize the people that are just kind of in it because it looks cool and they were offered a great spot. And then once they weren't offered that great spot again, they're not coming around no more because, I'm only doing it because I was in the semi-main event. Oh, well, great for you. That's your debut, man. But Put in the work. See, we could see that. We all see it. And even when you love it, you see it. See when people love this business. A lot of people think Brock Lesnar don't love this business. Oh, he does. You don't take those fucking bumps. You don't love this shit. You don't go out there, you hit your head onto the pole and go bleed hard way because you don't love this shit. You love it with a passion. You love it more than MMA because you can do this longer. I guarantee you. I think his gimmick is he doesn't love it. That's his gimmick. So you know what I mean? Yeah, you don't go out there and take these bumps, and entertain and perform because I mean, I'm pretty sure that guy's living well. He don't have to do this shit. He does it because he loves it. That's why are all these old guys coming back? Jay Resso or Christian and Edge, and they got unfinished business, man. Yeah, because they love this business with a passion. It's not about the money, right? I'm okay with destroying my body for this because I love it. This is what I love to do. Love it with a passion. People will recognize it. Joe, do you have a question?
Oh no, well, I was just gonna make the observation that in terms of Brock Lesnar, I just think for all the trash people talk about his attitude, it speaks to how great he is that they're willing to accommodate him not wanting to travel to still bring him in and present him on the basis that they do. And I think wrestling won him over. Like, he didn't like it at first, but you can tell it grew on him, and he looked, because you wouldn't do a shooting star press and almost kill yourself if you weren't.
That is key right there. Shooting star press at 300 plus pounds. This guy, you love this fucking shit. Like, hey, when you sitting there believing he don't love it, that's the mark in you. That's the mark in us saying like, oh, I hate that character. Don't buy into the character, man. He's a regular person. Yeah, shooting star press where you nearly broke your fucking neck too. Yeah. Another one. Get TV experience where you can. I know you guys are saying, oh yeah, great, of course, yeah, put me on TV. There's like a thing out here that championship wrestling from Hollywood, like people don't want to go. You get paid with exposure bucks or a hot dog and a handshake, or they pay you $20 or whatever the case is. Man, they are investing a lot into you, and I get it. I get it. You're like, well, they're on so many stations, 160 plus stations. Maybe they should be paying me more. I guess they should. But when we're new, they're giving a lot of new people opportunities. That a lot of new people don't get opportunities like this to be on television, syndicated throughout the United States. And not only that, but the effort that's put into it. They edit the video every week. They put the lights up. Some people say, oh, but championship wrestling from Hollywood, I don't like the wrestling there. Well, you know what? You can go there and make it better. So I always say, I catch Coach Chaos complaining about Southern California. The trainees suck. Everybody sucks out here. Must have been 15 years ago. Everyone sucks. I hate it. And no one's good. Everyone sucks. Well, you can sit here and keep bitching and moaning, or you can become a trainer and try to do something about it. So same thing. If you think like you should be able to go to and elevate a show, that's what you should want to do. What am I bringing to the table? Not what can championship wrestling from Hollywood, AEW, or Raw do for me? What can I do for them? Right? Like JFK. Really, what value do I bring? We all just want to live our dreams. Give us a contract. Oh, I'm living my dream. But what the fuck do you bring to the table to make them want to hire you? Get that experience. Jack, you have a comment or question?
Yeah, just as far as like getting the TV time with championship wrestling, things like that. I've had a very limited experience, but I've gotten the chance to go there and work with them. And I can say personally, like the view of how things work changes drastically very quickly once you see how things actually look. And I was fortunate enough to sit in the truck while they're doing the directing and seeing what they're doing and seeing all that goes into it. For me personally, it absolutely changed the way I view the shows now and my thought process on how things are put together. So just backing up what you're saying, it's super valuable to see it from that side.
Yeah, and even me with years of experience, when David Marquez called me up and wanted me to agent some of the matches, like I jumped at it because I need and want the experience. And I remember he kept saying, hey, send your invoice in so you can get paid. And to me, it wasn't about getting paid. It really was about getting the experience. I still sent it in, but it was like he had to knock on the door and say, "You gonna let me pay you?" Because it was about more important to get the experience for me, even at 27, 26 years into this business. It's more important for me to get, because I see that's where I'm going. Oh yeah, I do. I want to get on the truck and see what is he doing on this truck. What actual buttons is he pressing? Because I see myself wanting to do that or falling into it and saying, "Well, I should have learned when I had the chance," you know. But yeah, there's so much to learn there. Just the way they take pictures and the way they do everything on a totally different level than independent wrestling, where you may make your debut. So get that TV experience, especially out here in Southern California. And there's like a long list, but what can you bring to the table, right? If you're entertaining enough, they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to fit you in. We're not going to make you wait on a list. We're going to fit you in if you bring the goods." So important. Love what you do, and the money will come. I believe that 100%. Love what you're doing. So people think about the money and then the wrestling. Think about the wrestling and the art and the love of it, and then the money. I believe that 100%. Become that negotiator, become that businessman, right? Because too many wrestlers get taken advantage of, because if you don't ask, you don't get paid. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and that's how it is. And that's the way the promoters will treat you. They're more than willing to pay you if you ask. I don't believe in that shit. I want to give you your envelope before you even wrestle. Sometimes that bites me in the ass, but I want to just do it before, because I don't want you hanging around. I hated that as a wrestler, hanging around trying to get paid like a fucking dumbass. Like, oh, I'm here with my hat in my hand, like, "Hey, you're gonna pay me," and they're making you wait like you're a jabroni, man. You're like, come on, either tell me come back in 2 weeks or whatever, or just don't make me wait here for 3 hours after the show. And that's happened. But yeah, put in that love for the game, and then the money will come. Health is important, guys. Health is incredibly important, right? Take your injuries seriously, and get physical therapy if needed, right? Take those injuries seriously. A lot of right. Why? Let me tell you why we're saying this. Next week I got a match. I got a match next Friday. And it's right. The next match is my biggest match. Always, your next match is your biggest match, especially on the indies. So what you're gonna do is, I got a concussion, or I tweaked my knee, tweaked my ankle. I'm not 100%, but I'm not gonna miss Friday night, because then they're gonna start booking somebody else. Someone's gonna fill in my spot, and then I gotta try to get back on the show. So I'm gonna do what I can to be on the show, right? Kid Cash, when ECW went to pay per view, he had a broken jaw, wired shut, and he's like, "I'm not missing the pay per view." And they're like, "What? Why?" Because fucking pay per view, you know. So I get that, but health is incredibly important, guys. I want to preach to you that when I wrestle concussion, I'm doing stupid shit. Don't do that, right? There's life after wrestling. I'm doing this because I'm thinking there's no life after wrestling. I'll die in the fucking ring, right? Like romantic. I'll die in that ring. But at the end of the day, there's life after wrestling. Take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your health. If it jeopardizes a spot, so be it. But going back to learning when you're hurt or you're injured, what's knowing the difference, knowing the difference. Jason, got a question or comment?
Yeah, to add to that, I don't know if you remember when I think it was like my first session of training with you guys. I did an up and over, hyperextended that leg, and then I kind of limped it off like I was okay, and then tried to go further in training. And you guys noticed I was limping. You guys pulled me out. It was like, make sure you get that taken care of. So I came back like to the next training, and it was like I had to sit out for almost a year because I kept jumping back in on it. Because I didn't want to miss training, you know what I mean? So it's like it was swole up and everything. And then I think you had told me, like, don't come back until you get it checked out and you're good. You know what I mean? 'Cause you had that whole like, want to die in the ring type of situation, or you don't want to miss anything. But then if you don't have a leg, you're no good to anyone anyway, you know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're last class. We're gonna go about 10 minutes over, maybe 15. If you could bear with me, I understand if you have to leave at 8 o'clock. You still got 3 minutes. All right, guys. Shapes and sizes don't matter anymore. I think we actually talked about this in the first day, right? Shapes and sizes don't matter anymore. Before, you had to be 300 plus pounds, over 6'2", to really be considered a professional wrestler. Especially when I started in 1994. I was just geeked out to do it. I didn't care anything about that. But shapes and sizes doesn't matter anymore. What matters is if you can connect with the audience, right? So it's we're repeating ourselves now. If we can connect with that audience, right? We talked about Roderick Strong today. He's a smaller guy. Even Adam Cole, like skinny arms. Not talking smack about him, but he looks like he's about 5'9", maybe 5'10" at best. But he's the main event over there at NXT. You know what I mean? He's the guy. It He connects with that crowd. And then I think we talked about this. You look at him; he looks like Tom Cruise right here, or I don't know, Ryan Gosling. When you look at him, he looks like a star. Yeah, as the 1994 wrestler, oh, he's a small guy, this, that, and the other. But when you look at him, that's what Vince is looking at right here. He's looking at that. Can that sell? Can I put this person's face on a poster? You know. Um, so so really, let's think about that as we move forward. Let's see here. So the shapes and sizes don't matter, but what does that mean? Also, we got to work out. We still got to work out. We got to put in the hard work. Just because the wrestling to get through an 10-minute match, I bet you I can guarantee probably everybody here, if you haven't been in the ring, 10-minute match. Joshua could probably tell us, and El Primo can tell us, is that 10-minute match is probably like no cardio you've ever done in your life, like 100%. Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Like, I do cardio every day. I do cardio for an hour, and at 10 minutes in wrestling, oh, why am I so blown out? It's different. It's just different, you know? Um, so even though shapes and sizes don't matter, you still have your heart and your lungs have to be in shape. 100%. 100%. So um, let's see here. Be in the moment in everything you do. You guys remember me saying Roddy Piper when we asked him what advice do you give to potential wrestlers coming up in the business? He says, wrestle with your heart. Don't go out there with so many stats or spots. Just give him your heart and you can't go wrong. Just be in that moment. Just be in that moment in everything you do, right? You're not thinking about the spot you went over in the back. You're in that moment. Jack Farmer just slapped me in that face. What do you do? What's the reaction? When I slapped Brian Kendrick in the face in our match, I would, as soon as I let my hand go, I go, oh my God, I'm hitting him so fucking hard. And he slapped me so fucking hard right back in that moment, right? That wasn't called spot. And at the end, I go, oh man, I didn't mean to really hit you that hard. He goes, it's all good. I just hope you knew that it was coming back just as hard. And I was like, oh yeah. So that's why I went, oh shit, as soon as my hand let go. Being in that moment. Sometimes you can't call that. Can't call that stuff in the back. You gotta let it happen organically. You know, don't just sell, right? React. React to what's going on. You know, react. So selling is I'm hurt on the floor, but reacting is what am I holding? I'm holding my teeth because I just got kicked in the teeth. I'm reacting to that. You know, it's so important. Um, they want you to watch Cameron Grimes to see a wrestler who is great at being in the moment. Cameron Grimes from NXT. He's really good too. He's got that double stomp that I think is incredible. I don't know how he jumps that high. Box jumps, I guess. Right? Box jumps. Um, we've talked about this. Find character inspiration from books, movies, comics, TV, and more. Study archetypes. So thinking about that into your character, a great place to start right now is filling out that questionnaire about your character, because you know all the memories from your books and movies and characters that you've watched are gonna come into play. Um, let's see here. Networking is the key. This is coming from Brody and Jake. Networking is the key. We can't sit in the corner, or we can't just be on our phones. We can't just do our own vlog. We have to network. That's why I always tell people shaking everybody's hands, right? I don't care. Fist bump them. You know, I get it's COVID. But acknowledging everybody as you come in and as you leave. Tradition in professional wrestling. It's not just some carny bullshit. We do it because we're decent human beings and we want to earn respect and be respectful people. That's why we do it, you know? So it's so easy in wrestling to just go up and say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Joey. Nice to meet you." They'll say your name. You're starting the network. It's so easy in wrestling. You can go up to anybody. when you get a chance to do extra work at WWE, you could walk up to MVP and MVP will help you guys out. Maybe I don't know, maybe not now, but he will help you guys out. You walk up to MVP, say, "How you doing, MVP? My name is Joey Munoz. I'm an extra here today." Some people talk to you and say, "Oh, nice to meet you, man." You know who was really cool? Maria. Oh, actually, you know who was really shitty? Was Maria Kanellis. She's real shitty. She's like these extras. She was like that. These extras, just like they're bothering us. They're in our area. And that same day, right? And Maria at this time, this was like in 2007. Maria Kanellis, and that same day, Big Show is there, and Stone Cold is actually returning there for Monday Night Raw. So Stone Cold is there. Stone Cold. Stone Cold walks by. I'm sitting in Gorilla, ready to go. He walks by and he goes, "Go out there and get him, kid." Like, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking Stone Cold, like, really? Like, but I found out that Stone Cold likes to help the young wrestlers out. Big Show is going out after me, and he's like doing his stretches, and we kind of see each other, and this is like this wrestling thing, and I see that he keeps looking over to me, and I'm like, fuck, like, do I got heat or what? So he keeps looking at me, and I just go over and I just introduce myself. Hey, it's nice to meet you. He's like, you going out there right now? Yeah, I'm going out there right. Hey, knock it out of the ballpark, tear it up. And they know I'm going out there to do job work. Coolest motherfuckers in the world. Coolest motherfuckers in the world. Networking. Networking. You'll find out, man. Some of these guys that they got no dog in the fight. Stone Cold and Big Show, they ain't worried about no one taking their spots. That's why they were actually. That's why I believe, and Vince McMahon also, three of the coolest guys I've met in WWE when I get to do extra work there, which I thought is kind of unbelievable. But I go, that's why Vince is who he is. That's why he's the $1 billion man, because he makes everybody feel like $1 million. Everybody, he really does. Networking, but it's so easy to just go up to the Big Show and introduce yourself. Stone Cold, introduce yourself. Whoever it is, big shot in the Indies in Southern California, you go up there and introduce yourself. That might be intimidating, but that's wrestling. They expect you to do that. And when you don't do it, mental note, you got heat with me. You didn't shake my hand. You didn't. Not everybody. And the same thing. They're not going to tell you. They're just going to mental note it. And then maybe they'll give you a chance to be cool again, to redeem yourself. I know I do that. I don't go and say, you didn't shake my fucking hand. Go fuck yourself. I just go mental note. But networking is key, and it's certainly the easiest thing to do in professional wrestling. Like when you're in high school, you don't just go up and shake people's hands. It's kind of tradition, and it is tradition in wrestling. So go ahead and do it. Make it happen. Be great at wrestling, and everything will come. Right? Don't worry about your spot. Don't worry about what company you're wrestling for. Be great at wrestling, and it'll all start falling into play. Trust me. We try to think about where we can go and can't do, or where what have I done lately? Just love what you're doing in the ring, and they will come. It will come. The accolades will come. I promise you. If you love this business, right? You're always going to lose to somebody that loves this business with a passion. If you don't like you, how could you not? You're going to lose. Someone loves this shit more than you, like they're probably going to do it better than you. 100%. You might be technically great. You might have great promos, but man, they might just be very likable. Be likable, right? Be likable. That's Brody King. How do you get all these bookings like that right off the bat? Like, he's just a likable guy. And he I'm a guy that says there's no friends in wrestling. Brody's my friend, right? Not just my student, but Brody's my friend. Like, he forced himself to be friends with me. Like, he knew I was hard. I was a hard onion to peel back. He'd hit me up. I wouldn't message him back. You know what they told me when I started my wrestling school? This is the advice I was told. Your students aren't your friends. They're pieces of shit. All you have to do, all you're obligated to do is to train them. And that's it. Oh, fuck. That's a little harsh. Took it to the heart, though. Took it to the heart. And then you got Brody. You're not my friend, Brody. I'm not going to let you be my friend. And he peeled that onion back. He peeled it back. Just loving wrestling, being great at it, really trying to help that networking. And I think it goes a long way when you're likable. When you're likable in wrestling, you could be a great wrestler, great promo, but if you're not likable, no one wants to work with you. Teddy Hart wasn't very likable. isn't very likable. Great wrestler, great pedigree, can cut a fucking promo like nobody's fucking business. He's the epitome of that. He's hard to work with, man. I mean, he's likable. Like, I never had problems with him. I've teamed up with him. I've wrestled him. Never had problems with him. But I see the problems he gives to people at the back. I see what he does, and it's made his career tough because you're like thinking, man, you're Bret Hart, Owen Hart's nephew, grandson of Stu, cousin of Natty. I mean, man, you should be, man, groomed for this, right? It's made himself harder for him. It's not when you're not likable, Less is more. You'll hear that recurrent in wrestling. Less is more. Please keep it less is more. Right? Thinking about how is it really the promos? Did Owen take the tournament because of what he was saying, or was it just being his character? Right? He didn't have time to think of any cool lines. He had to react to. He had to take what people were throwing at him. Right? Less is more. Delivered so much more by not trying to practice, right? Go, what did Roddy Piper say? Don't go out there all the stats and what you want to do. Just go give them your heart. Can't go wrong. All right. Before we end it, advice for tryouts. This is some of the tips that they have. Don't give them what you think they want to see. Be you and show them what makes you unique. I think the epitome of that is Tough Enough, Stone Cold, and M-Dog 20. And M-Dog went out there and just wrestled. And Stone Cold said, "Where's all your flips?" "Oh, well, I gave you what I thought you wanted to see." "Oh, well, you're cut." That's what Stone Cold says. And he goes, M-Dog, Matt goes, "I'll do some flips right now." And he goes, "Too late. You had your chance. You didn't do it." Because Matt, M-Dog 20, gave them what he thought they wanted to see. Give them you. Be you. Show them what makes you unique. A lot of the times we get booked on a show and we see all these great wrestlers there and we get intimidated. It happens to all of us. We get intimidated and then we see a couple of the matches and you're like, oh my God, especially when you're coming from California and it's on the East Coast and everyone wrestles different, but keep in mind, everybody wrestles the same over there. But it might be the first time you're seeing it from the West Coast and you're like, oh my God, they're tearing the house down. Not realizing in every match, everyone does the bypass or everyone does the lucha spot. Like in California, everyone does that same shit. And then you start second guessing yourself and you go, man, I got to change my wrestling up. Fuck all that. Why do they book you here? Do what brought you to the show. Just be you. Be unique. Be memorable. What's going to make you memorable? I felt that I had to wear pink, green, biker shorts with white boots, matching knee pads. I had to tan myself like I was Hulk Hogan, and then I bleached my hair with my bleached blonde hair with black eyebrows, eye piercings, making crazy faces. Like, I try to help myself in what would be memorable. Same thing with Voodoo Chaos, right? My hair was up in curly hair, looking up around like, what is all the lights? What is memorable? Thinking about that 5-year-old kid or even that 5-year-old you. What would you see and never forget the rest of your life? Because you're going to capture that with this audience, with your fans. What is it that you can be memorable? How can you be memorable in a tryout? Okay, they're not going to let you wear all your gear or whatever. Well, you can still have bleached hair, you can still stand out with your mannerisms, with your promos. What are you going to say in the ring? Being a little bit different, especially when in a tryout, when they say everybody does a tackle, drop down, hip toss. Okay, well, they're not going to let me do my cool shooting star press. I have to do the basic tackle drop. How can I stand out? How can I be memorable? By being yourself. What made you unique? What brought you to the tryout in the first place? Just do that, Show up in shape to any tryout you do. They're specifically talking about WWE tryouts. Show up in shape. Why? Because they will try to break you. They will try to break you. They're going to make you hold a 45-pound weight like this, straight out, and do that. Why? Why? We don't do that in wrestling. We don't hold anything out and hold it there for 45 seconds to a minute. Why are we doing this? Well, because simply they're just trying to break you. They want to see if you're going to quit. They want to see if you have any discipline. That's why. They're going to make you run from one ring to the next. Have 7 rings, and you're going to do rolls and run and go fight. You would never do that in a wrestling match, but they're trying to break you. They want to see if you took this too lightly and you didn't show up in shape. They want you to throw up. Same thing here when with Santino Brothers. We do all these drills. I want to break you. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to lift anybody up at 8 minutes into a match. And because if you have a dog attitude in training and you don't show up in shape, you're probably going to drop me on my head. And then I have to go to the hospital. Right? Show up in shape. Show up in shape. It's so important. Exhaustion. And if you ever have a tryout, I have a lot of workouts that you guys can do. Going back to it, here it is. Be a likable person. It's actually written down here. Be a likable person. Let people want to be able to come up to you and talk to you. Be easy to talk to. Start conversations. Because you could do everything great, but if you're not likable, they're gonna say, I don't want to work with this person. Doesn't matter. Work on your footwork and basics. Right? Because we said they're only going to give you a tackle, drop down, hip toss. They don't care about your shooting star press or any of the cool moves you can do. They want to see the basics. Footwork is so important. Pacing, timing, all that is so important. And the final one, have fire. Have fire. Bring the fire and light it the fuck up. All right, you got one chance. Don't leave with any regrets. Light it up. Right? As for what is it? Forgiveness, right? Don't ask for permission of what you can and can't do. Right? M-Dog 20, light it up. Do all your fucking flips if they're gonna let you do it. Light it up. Because that's what they want to see. That's why they brought you to the dance. And when you don't do it, they're gonna cut you like they cut him. And he was devastated. If you guys ever watch that episode, you see his face. He's devastated. And he says, I'll do some flips right now. And Stone Cold's like, too late. That's it. And he like takes his belt away from him. He holds the belt a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember that's how it was tough enough back then. I don't know, like 8 years ago. And he takes the belt and he's like, no, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to give it up. And he had to, right? He gave him what he thought they wanted to see. Be you. So I'll post these in the group. I'm also gonna post the Santino Brothers group for those that don't know about it. You'll get any of the updates. Because we might forget about this online one. So I want you to join the official Santino Brothers group. It has all of our alumni in there. I think there's about 150 plus people in that group that have trained with us. So I'm inviting you to be a part of that. And so that way we can, you guys will still be updated and connected with Santino Brothers first before anyone else will know anything that's going on. Because we're not going to open anything to the public first. I'm going to work on getting my online classes, the classes that I left before we closed down on COVID, the online classes, get you guys in for training before we would actually advertise and say, well, hey, join our online class, or excuse me, join our physical class. You guys are going to have the first bit at that. And plus, we're probably going to have to do it at, less people, obviously. So, all right. So it doesn't end here, guys. We're gonna keep in touch. And this group right here, I want you guys to keep in touch. It's like Lance Storm and Jericho, right? Wrestled early on in their career, but always talk about how they have this connection and this bond with each other. Why? Because they came up together in pro wrestling. So try to use this group as right. We talked about it. Find a support group. This could be our support group right here. We all understand each other. We're all trying to do something a little crazy and a little loony, and that's professional wrestling. But we all have that. We all have we're all driven to that same light. So that's what we have in common. That's why I always say there should be no heat in wrestling because we all love this shit with a passion. Kristen, you have a question?
Oh yes, just confirming the having the fire bring it, the thinking about what you want, and also a couple of things I wrote down. That's something that can help out with developing the inner motherfucker.
Yes. Have I told you guys about the inner motherfucker? Like you have to have a little motherfucker in you. You really do. Like, right? You can't always be happy for. I'm happy for Omar. I'm happy for Aunt Heidi. I'm happy for Divine Tucson. I'm happy for Ali. What about me? What about me? Am I happy for me? Have that little put yourself first. sometimes. I get it. We always got to help people out. It's a cutthroat business. It really is. And as soon as I think Jack Farmer's my friend, or as soon as Jack Farmer thinks I'm his friend, I'm keeping him close to me so I can make sure he doesn't go ahead of me. I used to do that in wrestling, and people used to do it to me, and we do it with a smile on our face, like you're my best friend, Jack. I got your back, 100%. That's why I always preach. There's no friends in this business, and I know people will debate that, but at the end of the day, that's why there's a lot of bullshit heat. And, when you got a spot that I feel that I worked hard and deserved, I might be a little pissed off at you. I'm gonna be like, I want to hang out with that guy right now. Like, hey, I don't know. Those are some of the thoughts that go through my head. If it doesn't go through your head, man, God bless you. I hope I could be like you one day, 100%. But I try to be transparent. That's what I would think sometimes as a wrestler, and thinking about like how, I thought this guy was my friend. How come he never try to get me on TNA or whatever the case is? Because probably always trying to keep you down low and let them get their spot. I don't know. Maybe I'm not fucking good enough. I don't know. You know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a paranoid person. But the only reason I am is because pro wrestling made me that way. To tell you one thing and then do something differently behind your back. That's why I say don't trust anybody. Fuck it. I tell you guys, don't even trust what I'm saying. Research it. You know, research it. 100%. Omar, you got a question? Then it's Xander.
Yeah, Coach, I was wondering if the Facebook group for this class, will that remain up?
It will remain up, but I want you to join the other one, and then so if this doesn't remain up, get on like a Instagram group message, Twitter group message, or something. Get this crew together. If you got to be that leader, right? There's always going to be looking for leaders in locker rooms. Be the one that starts that up. In case this page does go down and it's not there, not available for you. Okay. Xander, question or comment?
Comment really quickly. For anyone trying to be a personality or a manager, do it up, do that shit. Fucking see you out there. For anyone trying to be a ref, you better call our matches down the line. And for anybody in here who's trying to be a wrestler, I want to have matches with everybody in here. I'm looking at everybody right now. Forget what Coach Chaos said at the very beginning of this class, and only 3 or 4 of us are going to make it. All of us are going to make it, and we're going to have matches that are going to blow the roof off of every building we're in, even if it's just 10 to 15 people in there.
Yes, 100%. Be that support system. Please prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Be that first class that starts from the beginning and ends with everybody after 1 year, right? Be that support system. And then here's the thing. I get it. It's okay when you realize this is not for me, right? It's not. I get a lot of the trainees think, oh, they're gonna think I'm a punk. I couldn't hang this and the other. It's okay if it's not for you. If you realize that after you've tried, that's a different story than quitting because I don't know, just you felt that you weren't treated right. You felt maybe you let the emotions get into your head. You let the outside world that's going on. Everyone's got their outside things going on, right? You let that get to you too much, and it just took over where you stopped coming to training, right? Be that support system because you all need it. Omar or might be the one helping somebody out today, and then next week somebody's going to have to pick Omar up. And that's really what's going to help out and build that camaraderie, especially because what we're doing in pro wrestling is so goddamn dangerous. It's so dangerous. That's why you just respect the business, respect the ring, respect each other, and take care of each other, even when it's not even in the ring and it's outside the ring. You see somebody with their head down. Maybe it's time for you to go put your hand on their shoulder and say, "What's wrong? What's up, man? You okay?" They might say, "Yeah." Like me, I would say, "I'm okay. I'm not going to talk to you about it." But I don't know. Maybe Joshua City, we got a connection, and I'm like, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Yeah, we took fucking bumps together, so yeah, we're connected. I don't know. So you might need to be that person sometimes. And sometimes you might need to be the guy that's gonna be like, or the girl that's like, hey, get the fuck up, finish the fuck you started. You gotta yell at them. It's all the way around. So Joe, you got a question or comment before we end it?
I was just gonna say, I want to say thank you to everybody except El Primo Hangyo. I'm still calling you out, Ramat, Prima Hanya, try hard.
Primo, yes. Yes, keep going. Yeah, I really enjoyed this class. Each and every one of you seen the progression in the promos, to see everybody light up, the way you're watching matches, and to say you're learning it a little bit different. So I hope that you got something out of this online class, right? When we started this in September, we had no clue about how to do an online class. I think we're getting a lot better hands on how to do it, and what we can and cannot learn, but there's so much to learn on just by sitting and talking. And this is like, even with us moving towards putting the ring back up and hopefully opening back up, I feel that the online class at Santino Brothers at least will be here to stay, because there's no distractions. There's no ring in the background to distract us. We can focus on promos. We could focus on a lot of different things, whether it be match review or whatnot. So I think it's um, trying to always look at the bright side of what, when we had to shut down, and what we had to how we had to be innovative and create. So I love doing this class, and I hope that you guys got something really good out of it, insightful out of this. So I look forward to training you guys in person. I know that some of us are not in California. Um, like, who's not in California? Omar. Omar and Alexander's in New Mexico. Omar, there's some great schools on the East Coast. Like, right off the bat, I'd probably say, I don't know how far it is from you. Monster Factory would be a really good option to look into, among other schools. There's a lot of other schools, but I'm really connected with Monster Factory. I know Danny Cates, the owner, and that'd be a really great one to look into when you start. And then Alexander in New Mexico. I actually have a student named Seville Alvarez who lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he's training, and he's training in his garage, right? Santino Brothers, right? We're well known now, but we started in the backyard. So he takes all of our training, and you'd be in great hands with him. So that'd be something good to look into, even if, I know you said you want to do other things besides just wrestling. You want to do the refereeing and do other things like booking and stuff like that. Be a great place to start, especially with getting you familiar with the Albuquerque scene of professional wrestling. So that'd be really good. Um, all right, Joe, did you have a question, or is your hand still up from earlier?
Earlier, I forgot
Okay.
to take my hand down. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all good, brother. You're all good. And so for those that have been like Omar have submitted some promos, I'll still be on that online group. Feel free to message me. I feel that you should all have my email and or Facebook direct messenger. So don't be afraid to message me if you haven't got any update. Hey, what's the update, coach? I'll let you know. And then I hope to, hopefully within the next 60 days, physically get in the ring with all of you, and so we can start training, or at least most of you, and we can start training and get it done, and kind of start doing what we love to do, So, all right, guys. Um, Great class, 18 sessions, come to the end. What do they always say? My orchestra teacher always used to say, time flies when you're having a great time. 6 weeks, it just really went quick. It really did. I can't believe my birthday was 6 weeks ago. So, yeah, it feels like it was just not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So, really good job, guys. All right, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Final one for the online class. Santino's on three. Santino's on three. One,
One,
two,
Two,
three.
three.
Santino!
Santinos.
All right, everybody. Everybody take care. Have a great weekend. Stay in touch. Do not become strangers. And 100%, let's keep the dream alive. Keep pushing forward. All right, everybody.
Hey, coach.
Yes, sir.